This is it, guys. They just warned of the big one. Let's talk about it. So most of what we talk about is normally kind of like a slow motion collapse scenario where it's like we can see it happening, you know, see the building falling in slow motion in front of us. But today we're going to talk about something that could really just change everything in an instant. And now officials are warning about it. There's been a ton of warnings about this, and it's very serious. We're going to get to how serious this can be. So congressional reports have shown that this event could wipe out over 90% of the American population. It's a scary thought, very scary thought. There's not many things that could do that. You probably have thoughts running through your head. What could it be? It's not exactly what you think. It kind of is, but it's not exactly what you think. We'll get to it in just a second. But this could wipe out 90% of us. This is real stuff, guys. What are we talking about here? Well, the FBI has recently warned of cyber attacks on farm co-ops, and they actually revealed that there has been some massive cyber attacks that have happened just recently in the past month or two. So this is, and they're saying these are coordinated cyber attacks to hit at the perfect time to destroy our agriculture and destroy planting, destroy processing. Because if you hit right when the grain is being planted, it doesn't get planted at the right time. It's not going to work. If you hit right when meat's being processed and it doesn't get refrigerated right away, then it's not going to work. It's going to spoil. So these attacks are being timed, and they revealed that there was a multi-state attack on a grain facility that supplies grain to tons of farms in America. And this just happened in March 2022. 5 U.S. energy firms were also targeted and scanned, had their analytics scanned. Somebody got into their system just recently, just a couple months ago. Major U.S. energy firms. It said it affected defense firms. 18 different major companies had their infrastructure infiltrated, and the hackers pretty much know exactly where to go now. So that's just a cyber attack, and there's something even worse that could wipe out 90% of the population. And a cyber attack is almost the equivalent to this now, because everything is connected to the internet. Everything is vulnerable. And it's one of those things where it's very hard to pinpoint who is doing this. You know what I mean? It's very easy to just say, oh, this came from this nation or this nation. And we've even had admissions that false flags are a real thing. And this could come from any side. I'm not saying it's us. It could be, but this could come from any side of the equation. And anyone could be blamed. This is a really dangerous scenario, and we're having serious warnings now that our infrastructure is being targeted for cyber attacks. So the real big one that could happen is an EMP. So an EMP is pretty much a cyber attack on all electronics, essentially. It's a nuclear blast that's detonated in the atmosphere above North America, and it would essentially wipe out all electronic communication for the country and for the continent. Canada, it would all be included. And I've read articles saying EMP would be preceded by a nuclear strike, because how else do you get a nuclear strike off? You have to disable all communications and all radars, satellites. You know, our satellites would probably be destroyed by that point too. But an EMP would change everyone's life in an instant. Even a cyber attack, it could happen overnight. The electrical grid could be hacked, shut down overnight. And even Congress is saying 90% of people would not make it, guys. Are you in that 10%? I know my audience is going to be in that 10%, because to survive this scenario, we're getting warnings about this now. And it's like, this is what happens. You get warned, you get conditioned to learn this is a real thing, and then it happens. And then anyone can be, you know what I mean? The situation can be controlled easier that way. Anyone can be blamed. So You need to be prepared. What would you do if the power went out? Would you make it? Would you really survive, guys? How would you cook your food? Like, we have all these preps, we have all this food. Can you even cook it? Can you even cook all the rice you have, all the pasta you have? The electricity is going to be out. Maybe you have a propane tank, that might work, but that's not going to last forever. And with propane and natural gas prices, what are you going to do? So you need to have like a wood stove or something along those lines, some kind of wood-based fire system that you can use so you can gather wood and have a fire. I know not everyone can have a wood stove, but even some kind of system to just cook on that. This is why 90% of people would not make it, because everyone is so dependent on electricity. It would be, the supply chains would be down, guys. No goods would be transported. It would all stop. And essentially, if that happened, it would just, it's probably the end, guys, at that point. I hate to say that, but it's going to be really hard to recover from something like that. Everything would be shut down overnight. And what would you do? Can you grow food? Have you started? I've been telling you guys, get started. Just plant something. You can do it, guys. It's so easy. Plants are just out there growing in the ground, in the desert behind me. You know, they're just out there growing. Like, you can grow stuff too. A wood stove's also going to provide you heat, which is going to be critical in the winter, guys. Everyone, like, we're not thinking in a real SHTF scenario what it's really like, guys. There's going to be no heat, no electricity, no goods delivered. It's going to be just, it's hard to imagine, because our world has been nowhere even near that for at least a century. And it's going to be a shock to a lot of people. I've seen articles even wargaming saying, what if North Korea was just used as a puppet to launch a EMP, you know? Because then it's like, what do? We just attack North Korea back, and then American infrastructure is just completely demolished. And that is a good scenario, because, I mean, North Korea is China's puppet, essentially. And it would be the perfect puppet state to just use to launch an attack and not have to worry about the consequences, because they have plausible deniability. Oh, we didn't do it. Wasn't us. You know, but then America's infrastructure is destroyed. Just like that. There's no protections of it. There's nobody's worried about it. They're warning about it, but they're not worried about it. This is what we're heading towards. I know this sounds like something dystopian and something, oh, this could never happen in America, but guys, we are living in a true dystopia already. Like, look around. The culture's been hijacked. The country's been hijacked. Our military, everything has been just overrun and overtaken and is under this agenda. It's not ours anymore. It's like America's the plane, we're all in it, and somebody just is flying it else now. Someone else is flying it that's not on our side. That's what it feels like right now. So this is all planned, guys. This is why I'm saying this could be a false flag to blame anyone. We were actually already cyber attacked last year. The beginning of last year, the Colonial Pipeline was hacked and it was shut down for weeks. And if you were in the Southeast, it was very difficult to get gas in certain areas, rural places. Most cities were fine, but some rural areas you had to drive an hour or two just to find a gas station that had gas. And there was no response to that. The response was, hey buddy, knock it off, don't do that again. So not very reassuring at all. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Are they warning us what's about to happen? And are you ready for that? Would you be ready for an EMP? I know I'm not. I'm trying to get as ready as possible, but that is something that's like, it could happen overnight, and it's just, you couldn't go to the store. What you have is what you have, you know. That's a serious situation to be in. So keep getting prepped, guys. Keep stocking up. Never, ever, ever stop. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if you're sitting in a palace of gold. You should just get some more cans, man. Keep prepping. Food's the most valuable thing. Let's be real. So you guys get that garden, get those cans, get that 20-pound bag of rice, guys. It could literally save your life in a scenario like this. And you guys hit those comments below. Let me know what you're doing on your preps, and have a blessed day, guys. Thank you so much for everything. Stay blessed.